Hello everyone and welcome to Siriana Tarot. This is a singles new love reading for Cancer. We're going to look at the kind of love you're ready to experience now based on the growth you've already done. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Cancers, please. All right, this person is showing up as the Emperor, Aries energy. All right, they're also showing up as the Hierophant, Taurus energy. They're viewing you as the Two of Wands. All right, feels like this person's been waiting for you or waiting for someone just like you. Wow, and the connection, we see the Strength card, Leo energy. And we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so this may be somebody who, it does feel like it's somebody brand new. Of course, it could also indicate somebody who's not talking to you yet, but they're a secret admirer. And some of you, you may not be in communication with this person, but it feels mostly like this is somebody completely brand new. This is somebody who's honest, somebody who's intellectual, somebody who's really in alignment. Now, they're showing up as Emperor energy, Cancer. This person is powerful, but they're powerful because they're grounded, because they know who they are. They know what they want. They're regulated. I feel like this is somebody who easily regulates themselves. This is somebody who's strategic. This is somebody who's ready to boss up. And this is also someone who's looking for marriage or commitment. They're not looking to play games, but they're also not going to mess around with someone that doesn't feel right for them. All right, so Emperor energy tells me they're passionate, they're a risk taker, a strategic risk taker, they're successful. All right, they're showing up as the Seven of Wands in reverse, but this person also, Cancer, knows when to soften. Okay, in order to have victory. So this is not somebody who's controlling. This is not somebody who always needs to win, although I do think that they're used to getting what they want. But this is also somebody here who knows how to pick and choose their battles. And like the Seven of Wands in reverse, like let down their walls and their barriers and soften at the right time. I feel like this person gets a lot of attention because they're most likely good looking. They have a lot to offer. Okay, and we see the Ten of Wands. Okay, so this person may be somebody who is quite, I was going to say inundated with responsibilities, but again, they also do know how to delegate, but I do feel they may work a lot, or they just have a lot of responsibilities. But what I like about the Ten of Wands here in particular is this person, he's carrying only one wand. So again, this person knows how to delegate. They're making room for romance, making room for you. All right, so again, they know how to achieve balance. How you're going to be feeling, the Lover's card, Gemini energy. Beautiful. So you're going to be feeling, seeing, and sensing, Cancer, this connection right off the bat. I also think you're going to be very, very attracted to this person because I feel like this person generates a sense of safety, physical safety, financial safety, emotional safety. All right. And I also think they're very sexy. Like this is someone who's going to let you know that, they're interested, they're going to take the lead in that regard. All right. Let's see what else my Cancers need to know about this person. They're funny, so expect a lot of fun and light energy with this person. The laughter you share may very well bond you and alleviate stress. Yeah, so somebody very funny. They're different, so you're connecting with someone of another race, religion, or culture from your own. All right, there's an intensity to this person for sure, but it doesn't feel overwhelming, Cancer. The depth of this person's thoughts and emotions indicate a high intellect and a strong focus on their subject. And we get they may have Virgo in their chart, or maybe they are a Virgo. We get strong Aries, Taurus, and Leo. We see Gemini here. But they're a planner, they're an organizer. Like they've got their life together here. And they may have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze. But again, they also know when to soften. So with the Hierophant card, Taurus energy, I feel like this is somebody who's very grounded. somebody who's lighthearted. I love that laughter, that sort of Buddha type energy this Hierophant is giving off. So there's this sense of security and peace with this person. And I think your nervous system is going to really rest when you're around this person, which speaks volumes. This is someone who's looking for commitment. I don't think they're looking for perfection, but they're looking for growth. And I feel like this is somebody who's, again, very committed. They may have a strong relationship with their family or friends. They value their connections. This person may be in their 40s, okay? Again, a really specific message, and when we get ages, hair color, eye color, ethnicities, and things like that, they're going to be very specific messages that won't resonate with all of you, Cancer, and that's okay. It doesn't mean it's not your reading. It just means that it's going to be confirmation for some of you, all right? We see this person has vices. All right, some of you, more than anything, I feel they may be a little bit of a workaholic here. This person, maybe they drink or they smoke, so you do want to vet this person. And for a lot of you, these vices may be something like their coping mechanisms when they're really stressed or, when they're working a lot. But for a lot of my Cancers, this may be something that they've put in their past, okay? But a lot of you, it just might be like they smoke or, they like to, have that drink to unwind, which I don't really consider a vice. But, all right, we see they speak to you through music. So you and this person, I'm getting an image of you two cooking together and like playing music, lighting candles, things like that. So you might have a song. You might have a song that you two, you think of with, each other, that you associate with each other with this relationship. They may make you playlists. They might write you songs, dedicate songs to you, Cancer. And we see the best kept secret. So there may be an energy here of secret admirer vibes, which I was picking up on with this Ace of Swords. Now, this best kept secret energy is also like there may be an element of secrecy around this connection. It could be because you work together. It could be just that, maybe for some reason or another you want to keep this relationship secret in the beginning. And that's okay too, Cancer, if you want to keep something close to your chest before you let other people have eyes on it, just to see where it goes, to see how you really feel. But I also feel like this person is going to be just so much more multifaceted than they come off as. So again, this Emperor has this really strong front. But with you, Cancer, I feel like they really do show you this very tender, this very sweet, this very creative side. So it feels very, very good. All right. Let's see what else we need to know about this person. What else do my Cancers need to know about this person? It's going to be, I just get like strength, and I get strong, and I get sexy energy. Now, that might not be exactly how you describe them, but I feel like it's how we're going to describe the relationship. All right. So, concern. This person may have a tendency to act unbothered. And I'm not going to say that they act like they don't care about you. I think with you, it's a different story, Cancer. But this person definitely, with this Emperor energy, these CEO type vibes that they're giving off, they act unbothered. They don't really let a lot of people see them sweat. But behind the scenes, they do really stress. All right. That Virgo energy, they might overthink and overanalyze, but nobody really sees that side of them. All right. We see Thief energy. This is somebody here. Again, there may be some sort of third-party element here that makes you want to keep this connection secret. And like I said, for a lot of you, it might be that this is your boss, or you work together, and maybe it's against company policy. Maybe you know their ex, or they know yours. But I do feel with the Thief energy here, there might be gossip, or there might be a fear of gossip around this connection. And I know a lot of my Cancers, I say we because yours truly is a Cancer sun, we do like to protect what feels sacred. And the beginning of a relationship like this is going to feel very sacred to my Cancers. But I also feel with the Thief energy coming out in reverse, I do feel like this is somebody who's honest. I feel like this is somebody who has a lot of integrity, okay? And let's see what else we need to know. And we see House energy. Some of you, this person, it's interesting. Now, they might work in real estate. They might also have quite a bit of money or luxury, but I feel like they're not really flashy about like where they live. So they might have a nice, small one-bedroom apartment, like even though they could afford the penthouse or they could afford a lot more. But they might do that for practicality, for cleaning purposes. Maybe they're not home a lot or something. For some of you, they might not even own a home, but they've done the cost analysis, and decided that it's easier or better for them to rent or something like that. Yeah, and we see courtship. So a lot of you, you two are definitely going to be dating, but I do feel like this is going to be quite an intense connection. So I do feel like for a lot of my Cancers, it may move kind of quickly. Like it might not, you might not have that traditional dating stage. I could see you two either moving in together quickly, or, I'm not saying you're rushing things or you're going to bypass, the important parts, but when you know, Cancer, right? That's kind of the energy I'm getting. Let's see, anything else we need to know? All right, so there's something unique about this person's smile. They may have an imperfection in their speech. This could also be somebody who doesn't, whatever language you communicate with this person in, it may not be their first language, or they might be bilingual. And sometimes that leads to sometimes, pronunciation errors or differences, some small grammar mistakes, things like that. All right. And we see they have a noticeable facial feature. For a lot of you, it is going to be their smile. There's something that really draws you in. All right, and they have an odd numbered birth year. Okay, I did see the number 5, but it could be another number. And communicating their feelings comes easy for them. So this person, again, is always going to be very honest and very direct with you, Cancer. Now, they're viewing you as the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is sometimes my twin flame card. But regardless of the label here, I feel like this person feels like they sense growth with you. You're someone that really fits into what they're looking for, and you're also going to provide them a sense of safety, emotional safety. A lot of my Cancers I'm picking up on, you're quite independent. So they're going to like that you don't need them, but you want them. But this is also somebody that's going to be completely okay being in a quote-unquote codependent relationship, but not codependent in the sense that, that it's unhealthy. But this is somebody who's looking to share what they've worked for, with you, Cancer, and share their daily routines. And with the Two of Wands, there's this sense of longing. So it could start off as a... it could start off as a secret admirer situation, but it could also be that there's distance here between the two of you, different cities, states, or countries. But mostly I feel like you are what this person has been looking for. And they love your little wild side, your creative, your wild side, Cancer. Okay, so they're also viewing you as the Queen of Cups. Now that's the embodiment of Cancerian energy, creative, free-spirited. And also she's really in a beautiful era of her life where she's not self-conscious. I mean, she's running barefoot on the beach in her pajamas here, and it's like there's this creativity, there's this beautiful sense of, there's this beautiful sense of freedom. They know that you're loving, you're nurturing, you're intuitive. You take good care of them, right? But not that this person's looking for like a mommy or a daddy, right? But like that you're nurturing and loving. We see judgment energy in reverse. Now, this person may be a little bit worried that you're going to misjudge them at first. Maybe they're used to being misjudged because, again, they do have this very professional, strong persona. But this person is somebody who knows how to soften when necessary. They might also be worried, Cancer, that you have choices in love. And that they might not be your top choice, right, with the Judgment card. And for a very select few of my Cancers, because it did come through in the very beginning of the reading, for a very select few of my Cancers, they might worry that they don't have a chance with you because of something that's already happened. My Cancers, Hermit energy, some of you might have Virgo in your chart as well. But look at that. You both kind of show up as this Virgo energy. You both might have a tendency to overthink and overanalyze. And most likely that's because you're very high functioning, emotionally, intellectually. All right. But the Hermit card tells me that, again, this is something that you're not going to want to keep secret for very long. And maybe some of you, you've been secretly admiring this person for some time. All right. Now, let's see. What does this person really admire about my Cancers? What does this person really admire about my Cancers? Okay, femme fatale. They see you sexy. So highlights the erotic energy of the feminine. And again, whether you're a feminine or masculine Cancer, you know we all have feminine and masculine qualities. And my readings really are not meant to be gender specific. But opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like what we're getting here with femme fatale energy, this person just thinks you're hot. All right? They think you're really, really sexy and sensual. Okay, and we see storyteller, and they love listening to your stories. They love listening to you speak. So an ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. So yeah, they love hearing about your life experiences, your travels, the stuff you've been through. I mean, this person is genuinely interested in you, Cancer, who you are and what you've experienced. Now we also see the alchemist. Now for me, this is the archetype of the magician, right? That you can transform base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So some of my Cancers out there, you could be entrepreneurs. You might have built something from nothing here. I'm also seeing here that they just see that there's magic. And this to me is like you have all the tools that you need, that they need, that they're looking for. They see you extremely well-rounded. They see you as extremely multifaceted. And you can do it all and make it look easy, or do it all with grace and ease, even if it doesn't always feel that way, right, Cancer? The alchemist is also someone who's been able to transform pain into healing. So I feel that there's a really strong respect that comes along with that. Like they know, or when they learn about the things that you've experienced and the way you still show up with grace, it's powerful. And it's like this very quiet strength here about you, Cancer. Now, speaking about quiet strength, we have the strength card, Leo energy, showing up. So this to me is telling me this is going to be a very sexy, very passionate connection, also very affectionate connection. You know, this person's going to have you purring, Cancer. You're going to have them purring. But I'm also seeing like a lot of cuddle time between the two of you, right? Like, and I know my Cancers out there, you love to cuddle and you love being in bed and, you know, like breakfast in bed, slow mornings, things like that when time warrants. I'm also seeing with the strength card that this is strength. So when there are fissures or cracks that show up in this relationship, they're both people want to repair. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So this connection, the purpose of this connection, Cancer, is to awaken a new version of you, and it certainly feels that way. This connection activates parts of you that were waiting to emerge. Through this bond, you step into a more authentic expression of yourself. Yeah, beautiful. And again, emotional safety is huge, and especially for a long-term connection. So what I'm seeing here is like this, you create emotional safety for each other, which allows you to show up as your authentic self. And you may not have had that before, Cancer, or maybe not in a long time. All right. Possibility without pressure. So this connection allows space for organic development, for things to unfold as they will. No pressure here. Even though I do think that there is going to be an intensity, and for a lot of my Cancers, this may move quickly, but I also think you're going to see like, okay, but it's going to move quickly and easily. All right. And to teach you what love is and isn't. This is beautiful. This connection clarifies emotional truth by showing you what feels aligned and what no longer does. Yeah, so I think this is the connection, Cancer, that really ends up showing you why other connections didn't work out. This is the connection where, you know, you can feel like your authentic self, and you understand that you're perfectly imperfect, but you're still right for this person. I love that. All right, and we see deepening self-awareness. This connection brings clarity about your emotional landscape. Yeah, and it gives you that space and that freedom to explore the depths of your emotional landscape, the good things, the bad things. And there's nothing more beautiful than that, Cancer, when somebody, you know, they can see you on your good days, they can see you on your not so good days, they can see you in your ugly days, right? And I'm not talking about physically, maybe for some of you. But, you know, like not that I'm saying some of you are ugly, but, you know, sometimes we have ugly days, right? Where we're not as put together as we would like to. Or maybe there's some ugly crying here at some point in time. But, like, you know, this person still accepts you, still loves you, doesn't judge you, and vice versa. All right, beautiful. So let's see what else we might need to know about this connection. What else do my Cancers need to know about this connection, please? Let go of the past. So clear your energy to allow more love into your life. So really nice advice here. But I also feel like that kind of ties into to teach you what love is and isn't. It's going to really show you this connection, why other things didn't work out for you, Cancer. Okay. Honest communication. Expect a heart-to-heart conversation. Again, we see that this person communicating their feelings comes easily for them. And I also feel like that really opens the door for my Cancers to be okay with, telling them all about yourself, but also like setting boundaries. Remember, the right person isn't going to run off when you set boundaries, and having even difficult conversations. But there's going to be that honesty here between the two of you. And Spirit's saying there are real feelings here. There are real romantic feelings that are worth exploring. And again, some of you, there's secret admirer vibes, and we get best kept secret here, and some elements of this relationship are hidden. So I do feel like there's going to be a pretty strong element of surprise here for my Cancers, that this person is way more than you were anticipating. All right, so let's see if we get any important dates or times here. Any important dates or times. So this may be unfolding for some of you within the next 3 months. And we also see the month of October. This could be a birthday. Maybe you met this person back in October. Maybe you dealt with them back in October. All right, but just, use your intuition here with those dates. All right, my lovely Cancers, I'm going to leave it here. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.